developments at Suffern. This year, the Suffern Chamber is delighted to present our first county-wide collaboration effort. This presentation is inspired by the great efforts cropping up throughout the county due to the diligent work by one of tonight's speakers, Director of Rockland County Economic Development and Tourism, Lucy Rezakowski, and her team. Jane is happy to say we're currently participating in one of these collaborative efforts with the Sloatsburg Revitalization Committee and are underway in having Suffern become a destination as part of the Discover Rockland campaign.
So when you think about collaboration, and I thought about this, I said, what is the opposite of collaboration? And that would be competition. When you think about Rockland County and how small it is, I don't know where there's room for competition. Even though when I first started the job and I would go and speak to people, they were really competing with each other. There were people that were in the same industry, but they never spoke to each other. I found that a bit odd because, quite frankly, if you have two heads, it's better than one. If you don't have a lot of money, if you pool your money with someone else, now you can make an impact. I learned that early on as a child. I'm one of three, the youngest, and if I asked my mom for something, I didn't always get it. But if my brothers and I asked, the chances of me being able to get that were increased greatly. So I knew that there was strength in having people to come with you to ask for things. Then I learned a really big lesson when I was 18 years old, and my family is originally from the Dominican Republic. My mom, when I graduated from high school, said, hey, you know, here's a trip to the Dominican Republic, you have to spend a month with relatives. I didn't really know what that was about. I didn't know those relatives. But I learned something because when I went to visit some relatives that lived not in the city, but in the outskirts, what they would do in the evenings shocked me. Because you see, I'm originally from Manhattan. I didn't even know the person living in the apartment next door. They meant nothing to me. Nothing. And here I was in this island, and in the evening, because their houses were small, there was no air conditioning, people would sit outside. And when they sat out there, they didn't have much. But I would hear a neighbor say, hey, do you have some beer? Bob says yes. Ed, do you got some ice? Yeah. Who's got the soda? Who's got this? Who's got that? And before you knew it, there was a block party. I said, I could get into this. This is enjoyable. People coming together with little resources, turning it into something big. And that's what they did. So when I started this job, quite frankly, tourism, I didn't know what it was about. Nothing. But I did know that if I was going to be successful in this job, I had to get to know people within the county, the people in the know, the people that would be willing to work with me to make things happen. And I'm very proud to say that this is happening. I have noticed the partnerships, the collaborations in this county have increased greatly. You look at each industry. I just had a meeting with the cultural arts. So who was there? Gardnerville Arts Center, the Harper House, Rockland Arts Council, Rockland ROCA, whatever that one stands for, I get it both confused. But ROCA was there as well. These ladies didn't always know each other. These were the executive directors. Now we're talking about collaborating and applying for grants together so that they can bring in the income into the county. That is an incredible accomplishment for the arts. Because originally they were thinking, all right, well, we get people to come up to the Gardnerville Center. Okay, we get people to look at the Hopper House. It wasn't enough. If you really want the tourists to be here and stay and spend the night because we really want the bed tax, that's how we're able to gauge our success, you've got to be able to offer them more. So coming together, they're able to now say, all right, we're going to figure out a way to take people from the Opera House to the Gardnerville Arts Center together. Transportation is an issue. It's expensive. One can't afford it by themselves, but if somebody else comes along, they can then afford it together. I didn't think that was such a difficult concept, but it was not happening. It was not happening. And it's starting to happen here. And that's just in that area. Art Clark was going to speak about collaborations with the Visit Nyack Group and the tourism with the river towns. He's going to go more deeply into that. But when I came to the county, there was $37,000 that was not going to be used up. We were going to give it back. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine giving back $37,000? That could have been at least $1 off your taxes. Something is better than nothing, right? But what we did was we reached out to a partnership. Visit Nyack was already starting a partnership and a collaboration, and we said, how can we spend this money? Let's partner with the county and get this money out there. And we did a wonderful campaign on Metro North, and it's been a collaboration ever since. That's got even further, because now we've got the river towns together. Alex became involved. Haverstraw became involved. Piermont became involved. Stony Point became involved. And ultimately, we now have the Rockland River towns. This poster was put out on the Metro North trains and was going through for a month trying to promote the Rockland River towns. Not just Nyack, I love you, Art. Not just Stony Point, not just Piermont, not just Haverstraw, but all together, the river towns. Some of them didn't speak to each other. I don't understand that, because what's the problem? You have breakfast in Nyack, you can't have lunch in Piermont? And dinner up in Haverstraw? There's enough to share, but it's happening. It's happening. I'm proud to say that. Discover Rockland. This edition that came out in the Daily News on October 2nd. It looks good, right? You think this was easy? Well, let me tell you, it wasn't. It's successful, because the way this came about was that Westchester had one, and Westchester had 30 pages, and I said, all right, we can do this, not knowing what it entailed, by the way. And here it was, a couple of days before we were going to print, not enough ads were sold. People didn't understand the value of this collaboration. So I got on the phone, and I started to explain what needed to happen, because we want to get Rockland County on the map. I see my job as one of a collaborator. I'm the lead collaborator. That's who I am. If you get an email from me that's originated from me, it says building bridges, connecting people. And then my boss said, Lucy, add organizations. I did. It says building bridges, connecting people and organizations. But the reality is that your organization is you. Organizations are people. And as long as we can start to work together, we're going to make a big difference. Rockland County is a gem. It's a gem in the raw. And we're polishing it, and we're going to start to see great things come next year. Today, here's an example of collaboration. We have a group of Chinese investors. These are people that just got in from China that have money. I'm not talking $100,000. I'm not even talking $500,000. They have millions, and they're looking for investment opportunities. I was down in New York City yesterday, down on Wall Street, meeting with them, and guess what? They were going on a tour of Duchess. Duchess was courting them. Well, I couldn't have that. So I said to them, when are you going to Duchess? Because that afternoon, you've got to come to Rockland. And I didn't even know where I was taking them. I had no clue where I was going to take them. I had no idea who I was going to talk to, nothing. I just knew that if they could go to Duchess, they were going to pass to Rockland, they needed to stop here. Well, they were at Letchworth. Jim Monahan met us. They took a tour of the Letchworth property. Tomorrow they're going to meet with the county executive at 8:30 in the morning, because that was the only time I could get. I said, I'll do breakfast. 8:30 in the morning, and then they're going off to IRG. This cannot happen if there wasn't a collaboration, because I just thought of it yesterday when I found out about the Duchess tour, and if I didn't have the collaborations with the IRGs, with the Letchworths, with those that can help make it happen, I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. A lot of people say, Lucy, how do you do it? How do you do it? I do it because all of you help me. All of you help me. And without that support, I couldn't have this happen. My biggest supporter, Ed Day. The project with Sloatsburg, revitalizing that whole area. Suffern is deeply involved in that. We're going to support that. We're going to work with them to make sure that this project moves forward. This is great potential for this area. And we're chopping around all of the different areas to see what are the opportunities and exposing this area to those outside of the area. No more Rockland people having to be the ones to go to all the events. You're paying your taxes. That's good enough. You go to the event, that's icing. but they eventually be dependent on your income in order for them to be successful. We want to bring people from the outside of the county into Rockland County, and it's happening. It's happening, and it's happening because all of you are working together. So keep up the collaborations. I'm so happy to be here and be a part of this group because I see the potential, and we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up.
We organized Visit Nyack as a marketing cooperative for the whole village. And basically did that with the Chamber of Commerce, an arts group in town, the Friends of the Nyaks, the village government, the hospital, and the library. So this was really an attempt to break down all the silos. Up to that point, everyone's been working separately, each with their individual budgets, each talking about Nyack in a different way. First, we wanted a brand of the village. Second, we wanted to put up some street banners with the brand on it, so people came to town and knew what the village was. Third, we wanted to develop an ongoing annual advertising program. And fourth, we wanted to develop local and regional partnerships. That's where I met Lucy. So we developed a brand. I don't know if you've seen it. It's Art and Soul on the Hudson. You know, the river is a very important asset. We're in a fortunate position that with the new bridge is there, with the gateway to the Lower Hudson, with the gateway to the county. So we're in a very enviable position. We just got lucky and placed there on the river. So Art and Soul was how we wanted to talk about the village. We put up the banners, and then we started advertising, and that's when we started reaching out beyond the local merchants. There are sponsorships in Nyack with the local merchants, but we started working with Rockland County, and Rockland County has been very generous to Nyack in terms of supporting our advertising and marketing. And we reached out to New York State for grant money. So between the county and the state grant money and the local merchants, we now can conduct a fairly sizable advertising program each year. We've been testing our way into how to advertise the village. We're now a regular advertiser on the commuter trains. So the Metro North trains, the New Jersey Transit trains. That's been highly successful. We're also advertising on radio, Peak and WNYC. And we started to get more and more into social media and digital marketing. We're running ads now in the New York Times, digital edition of the New York Times. So that's basically the story. And we've been working together as a group for 5 years. Just to give you a few statistics, we have about 225,000 people come to town each year. We've managed to, this year, increase traffic somewhere between 5 and 10%. The businesses are doing better. We're getting more New York City folks coming into town. Obviously, the Time Hotel is a big addition in that attracts folks to come and stay overnight. The website, we're getting about 200 visitors a day to our Visit Nyack website. And so people are coming back repeatedly to find out what the events are. So it's all coming together, and it's really a combination of collaboration on the local and regional level, as well as promoting your entity.
There are a lot of great things happening here in Rockland County. I just want to touch on one thing, because most people are not going to focus on this. I know I wouldn't if I was a county executive. The budget, this year's budget. I'm not going to bore you, but let me say this. The budget this year is the turning point for this county. We have spent the last 2.5 years right-sizing county government, getting ourselves out of a hole, and you all know how bad it was. $138 million deficit, 42 grand in the bank after the third week in office. Our bond rating was one step above junk, and we had the honorable distinction of being the most fiscally stressed county in the entire state of New York. How about that? Well, guess what? Our deficit now, audited by 2015, is $16 million from $138 million. Everybody's expecting, wait a second, there must be some sleight of hand there. We did bond $96 million in deficit. We have a bond outstanding for 10 years. That was supposed to be a 12%, 13% tax increase just to pay that bond down. Guess what? The tax increase this year is 1.17%, and that we are still going to pay that down every year forward. So there will be no tax increase. We've absorbed that massive payment with the existing budgetary practices. We have a county government right now that over the last 2 years has reduced its budget by 9%, $67 million. You don't hear that too often in government. Government doesn't cut. And we're still delivering services. $67 million less in spending. $67 million. We made a very tough decision to close Summit Park. We wanted to sell it. Sadly, the buyer decided to try to play games. I don't play games. So we're getting stronger. This budget here, this year, is the third budget I've done. We are now turning the corner. And I'll be honest with you, I'm very proud of the work our people in county government have done. We have great leadership there. Lucy Rezapolsky, as you know, has done an amazing job. But there are other people in county government that are working very, very hard. Our workforce is 22% less than it was when I came into office. And they're still getting the job done. We have new leadership. We have vision. We have folks who are looking to get things done. We have partnerships in other areas of government. Mayor Mark Kunis, perfect example. We speak every week. If there's something that has to happen to make his village better, he gets on the horn, reaches out to me, and we get it done. That's the way it's supposed to work. We have amazing things happening in Sloatsburg. I know Mike was supposed to be here today. Mike Bruno, unfortunately, couldn't make it. But we've met with him. We approach things, and I know you heard Lucy speak. She approaches it like I would approach it. It's sales. It's business. It's not government. I hate the word government. We're an organization. We're trying to be vibrant and vital and think outside the box and get things done. Do something differently. That's what we do in Rockland County organization right now. We do things that way. And, you know, anybody who's been in sales, who has ever spent a day in sales? Raise your hand. Do you let your customers just hang out, or do you go see them? Go see them, because somebody will take them, right? In our case, maybe Georgia or Florida will take our customer, all right? When we have somebody who wants to come in and maybe invest in our community, don't you think that you as a salesperson would want to go out and welcome that person? We would love to take your money. It's a wonderful thing. Give me your money. I think it's great. Thank you so much. That's great. That's a wonderful thing. That's what my job is. I'm the Chief Economic Officer of this county. That's a position that seems to have been forgotten. And we're building wealth here in Rockland. There are amazing, wonderful things that are happening. We haven't won them all. We lose a couple here and there. But the wins have far outweighed the losses, and that's critical. IRG. Par Pharmaceutical, my favorite store. Par Pharmaceutical in Chestnut Ridge had an application in to turn around and do an expansion in their plant. And I got a call from actually Rick Struck's predecessor, Mike Toole, the RDC, another good partner of us and what we're trying to get done here. Went to meet the CEO, Paul Campanelli. I walked the property with him. I'm not going to go by plans. I walked it with him. Let me see what he wants to do. Could it be an intrusion upon the village of Chestnut Ridge? Not really. It seemed to be a very well thought out plan. He was right into bureaucracy. And he said, you know something, this is time sensitive. Now, people in government don't understand what time sensitive is. It's not something, for whatever reason, they believe that those words don't exist. But for him, it was time sensitive. He had to make other decisions based upon this expansion. If he didn't get the expansion done, he was taking his operation and going to his other operation in Jersey. Okay, fine. Reached out to Sam Presti, another village mayor, just like Ed, a good partner. Said, Sam, here's the situation, and with all respect to his position, can we somehow get the boards to meet early in the summer? Get this done so we can meet the situation. And with the understanding that PAR had to come in with all the answers, they had a ZBA planning board meeting. Bottom line is they got it done, they got the approvals. Now here's where it gets better. Because there was an effort by county, by village, think about this. This is the same thing happening here in Suffern. They turned around and they moved their operation from Jersey entirely to Chestnut Ridge. We beat New Jersey. We can do it. And he said very simply, he has never seen the efforts expended to make sure that he could get done what had to get done. That came from partnerships. The REDC, the village mayor, county government, We worked together to make him a happy customer. We made him so happy, he took everybody from Jersey back to Rockland County. He didn't even care about the cheap gas. It's not cheap anymore, apparently. But this is what we look to do. We look to go out there and develop business, bring smart, sustainable development to this county without compromising the residents of this county. We owe residents here who built this county, who live here, whose largest investment is in their home. There needs to be a respect by anybody coming in here to develop. And I'm an ex-Civic Association president. I feel that very strongly in my heart. If you're going to come here to Rockland County, you become part of this county. You will be part of this county. You will respect your neighbors, and you'll do it the right way. Anyway, I could go on and on, but you know something? You heard the star of the show already, Lucy, okay? I'm very proud of the people who I brought in to work for me. I don't have a problem hiring people who are smarter than me, better educated than me, better looking than me. That's easy. But the bottom line is that I don't hire political hacks. I hire talented people because it makes my job easier and it makes the services for you better. You get results. And Lucy is a classic example of bringing a smart, intelligent woman to the county government, put her to work, and she's just making rock. She really is, and you're seeing it all happen. So, thank you for what you do in the chamber. The chambers here in Rockland are an integral part of making sure this county government moves forward, this community moves forward, this county moves forward. Keep it up, because you know something? We're not just getting better, we're going to rise to the top, and it's right around the corner. Be part of that with me. That's what I'm looking to do. Thank you very much.
That Suffern was stagnant for a period of years. For about 10 years, we saw a declining business, a lack of interest in development, and Suffern is really a unique village in the county. It's very developers and redevelopment in the village is very critical to us too, for collaboration, to work with others, to develop business, to develop relationships with all, to make the village thrive. For the residents, for the tax base, and for the business. Suffern is a very strong community. That's why people flock to Suffern. They love Suffern. The businesses are starting to really come into Suffern. We have a great community. We have a great police department that has a great DARE program. We have the great Ramapo Central School District. That's very critical to Suffern and to Rockland County. We need to keep that Ramapo Central School District strong and intact. You can clap for that because we really do need that. We need to educate and keep our education system strong. We have a great recreation center. I love saying great. We have a great recreation center, and Kathy Mills, our recreation director, is here today. Kathy and her staff, the whole recreation staff, do a fabulous job at putting on parades, fishing derbies, Halloween painting on the windows of the businesses, and that's a very big success for the village of Suffern. We're known now, we're really getting out there for our Christmas parade, which is December 3rd. Hundreds, Kathy, maybe, of people, thousands of people attend these events, and they are a huge success. Thank you for that. That's what we need in the village. We need, and that goes back to your term of collaboration and communication, getting out there and developing these relationships with the business community, with private industry, whoever it may be, to come and help and work with Suffern. So building on all those qualities, that will entice people to come in and move into the county or into the village of Suffern, as long as we have that communication and that sense of community. It's really near and dear to every village resident in Suffern. As we continue to invite businesses and developers into our community, into our village, they must be, they're calling me now, they must be responsible. We're looking for developers, we're looking to redevelop anything that we can in the village of Suffern to bring in a rateable to secure our tax base. But they must do it in a responsible manner. We take it seriously. From quality of life issues that people sometimes complain about, to stormwater management, to parking. A simple task that you take advantage of, parking, is critical to business and to the infrastructure. So everything must be looked at. Going into the infrastructure in the village of Suffern, which we continue to build on and strengthen, which we need to develop that strong business relationship, is our infrastructure. So our aging infrastructure is in need of repair, and that's what we're currently undertaking, huge infrastructure repairs to our village to maintain that quality of life for all in the village. So working together and collaboration is key. And we see that, I see that through Ori Licata's office, through the Chamber of Commerce, and through the local businesses, and through Lucy Retzikowski and the County Executive Day, and everybody being able to communicate together, which is what we really need. I look around and I see the dedicated men and women that are here tonight that really care about Rockland County and the village of Suffern. And we need to guide our communities on that path to success. So through those efforts that I mentioned, that's the way we are going to succeed. So I will continue to work and reach out to all to drive that positive change within the village and within the county.